you're one of my subscribers, you should know exactly what this is, because you should have seen my homemade gun plan video where I drew this out, and then the homemade gun build video where I put this together for you. What you don't know is that I made this for it. This is the part where you should be freaking out, because I've made a illegal short-barreled shotgun, but actually I haven't. What this actually is not even a firearm by US legal definition. This is a toy. It shoots these little hardwood balls. It packs a wallop. I didn't make a build video for this part because, just kidding. Watch the build video, and at the end I will cover loading and firing, and we'll take a couple more shots with this thing. So in order to weld the nut on the end of this barrel pipe that I need, I've got the threaded rod running all the way through it with another nut on top. It's going to hold that whole thing together while I weld that up. Let's see if I remember how to weld. Alright, so now I've got this receiver tube I made here with this barrel I just made. Barrel's a strong term for what I've done here. It's not a barrel, it won't chamber around. But that is the nut that I welded on, just like this one. But it had a little visit with the belt sander and a little re-weld and got kind of pretty. It's not perfect, but it looks good and it's centered, which is what was important. What I've got to do now is, I need this other nut to be welded to the face of this. I'm going to stop calling it a receiver because it's not one anymore. The way I'm going to do that is, let's see, it's going to be a little bit long-winded, but I'll show you after I set it up. Alright, so that's what I meant by long-winded. I just had to put that nut on this threaded piece. And it looks like I need to go a little more too. Right at the feed box again. I need to level it, I guess, if I'm going to do this stuff. Sure, that's what I'm going to do, is level the feed box. Anyway, this basically just gives me a jig for making this nut stay right where I want it so I can weld it, which is what I did to the pipe. Alright, I'm going to weld this up. So what I've got going on here now, I've got a piece of the bolt that fits both of those nuts. Sawed off a little section the length I wanted, and I'm about to drill a through hole. Pretty small diameter. Alright, so I've got like a 1/8 inch diameter hole that goes all the way through that piece of threaded stock. What I'm doing now is I've got my, what was it, 15/64, 5.9 millimeter drill bit here. I'm going to put a piece of tape on it so I know the depth on this, since I care about this one. Not like my demonstration video where I showed how to chamber and I just jabbed it off in there. I think that one ran a little deep. But anyway, you'll notice what I'm chambering for here is 22 nail gun charge. This is not going to be a firearm. This is going to be a toy. This isn't my favorite grip that I've got in here. It's just one I built back when I was kind of prototyping this stuff. Anyway, it is built for giving leverage for a heavy barreled gun, which this will be, so I expect it'll be alright for this. Just thought I'd show you how I'm tacking it on, and I'll go over how these work a little bit in case you don't feel like going through all my videos to see how they're made. Make sure there's no springs in your toys when you're welding on them, or there won't be any springs in your toys when you get done welding on them. I lost the video where I was showing how I made this bit right here. It's just a section of the rod that gate bolt is what it actually was, and it's about this long. And you saw me drill it both sides, 2 different size holes. And the way that I made this fit the gun was I dropped one of the shells in it and then just screwed that whole piece in until I saw it move this charging handle. Then I marked it. That's how I knew where it needed to be in relationship to the firing pin, because I screwed it in until it made good contact with the firing pin. I marked it and then screwed it into the barrel up to that mark, and then I drilled an 1/8 inch hole through the barrel and into the rod, not all the way into the through hole though, and I drove an 1/8 inch pin into it and then hit the top of it with the torch to weld it into place. Anyhow, I wanted to touch base on that real quick since it was missing. Since this gun is assembled and it's not coming apart again for any reason I can think of, thought I'd throw in a little tip about what I do with this mechanism when I'm done taking it apart and putting it together and making sure it all fits. So you know, there's a little through pin right here that actuates the rod and the trigger, and this set screw here that goes up against this little spring that's down below. And what I like to do is just take this set screw out, take this pin out, put a little bit of JB Weld or some kind of epoxy on those to make sure they don't move. I thought I'd throw that little tip in there for you if you decide to make this kind of a mechanism. This thing is powered by these powder actuated tool loads. This thing's a toy, but I wouldn't turn a kid loose with it without a little supervision and some training. Pretty simple deal. Now this thing will fire anything you plug that barrel with. These 3/4 inch balls, they rolled right down into the breech down there. Lock in pretty tight. Uh-oh. These powder actuated loads get a little tight because of that crimp, but I can generally back them out with a knife. Grab them with some pliers. Not a big deal. It's not like this is a defensive weapon. That first shot was the first time I've ever seen one of these come out of this that it didn't explode and disintegrate. This thing packs a mean punch for a toy. It's quite a divot. It must be the flex of the board that kept them from blowing up though. I've shot various things with it already and the shot did not survive. I'll play a little more with that in the future and try to get some exploding wooden balls on slow-mo. Anyway, as always, thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. And for you people that are already subscribed to my channel, thank you for your support. I appreciate you.